Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Honey. We blew up the kid. This is actually, I was wrong yesterday. It is the direct sequel, the first sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The other film that we watched months ago now, I've lost all track of time. That one is Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, which is from 1997. This is 1992. And apparently they've moved out of Fresno, out of California, and he has a job working in Las Vegas. There's a reason for that, and I'll get to that in a moment, but it actually figures into the plot. So he's moved his family. They have a baby named Adam, and he's maybe under two, and he's able to get out of his crib a lot. He's all sorts of rambunctious, and their daughter is off to college, so she's pretty much written out of the script. You see her, hey, I'm going to be not in this movie now, and she's gone. The son, however, Nick, is sort of the main focus of this, beyond obviously the giant baby. He's got a crush on a cute girl who happens to be Carrie Russell. She's adorable. She's barely a teenager, and she's got all the curly hair that you know her for. She's just cute as button. And weirdly, they introduce her in a bikini scene. Probably not a super great choice, but yeah, a number of things haven't aged well in this film. There's a scene in which they're in Las Vegas, and the giant baby is... I'm not spoiling anything by telling you there's a giant baby in this movie, right? Come on. I blew up the kid. Yeah, the baby gets big. They're in the streets of Las Vegas, and literally a group of Japanese tourists all go, oh, and start taking pictures rapidly, and one goes, Gojira! Gojira! And then one's, no, giant baby. They have the translation for us, just in case we weren't sure what they were saying. Yeah, there's a number of things that do not work well in this film when you look back at them. However, one of my favorite scenes in this film, you got to keep a close eye on it. They have to break into, Wayne and his wife have to break into, sorry for not remembering her name. She's more than just wife, because she's really important to the story. Anyway, they break into the lab where his old shrink ray is being stored. And of course, if it makes you remember the final scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's not accidental, because if you look really closely as they start digging through the boxes, one of the first thing that you see, there might be more, I didn't rewind or anything, but there was two that I noticed immediately. As Wayne is digging through the box, Rick Moranis, by the way, Rick Moranis is Wayne, Selinsky, he opens a box, and inside it you see a very dusty sled named Rosebud. Reference to Citizen Kane. And behind his wife, you see, as he's looking down on her, you see a box behind her that says Ark of the Covenant. So yeah, that was my favorite little nod. Beyond all that, I was surprised that I actually really like this film. It's fun. It is really, again, when it comes to a movie like this, you can't get too wrapped up in the science. You can't get too wrapped up in what could be real. And honestly, when you're looking at 1992, you can't be looking too harshly at the special effects. Yes, there are moments that the special effects suck. Especially when you're trying to composite scenes where you have normal-sized people in a room with a baby who is gigantic, or at least at this point, like 7 feet tall at the very beginning. He starts growing and growing as he comes in contact with electromagnetic fields throughout the movie. So, yeah, at first he just sort of gets zapped by the microwave and he turns 7 feet tall. Those sequences especially are just hilarious, because they just got a really big guy in a baby head, a baby outfit, and they try not to have him look at the camera too much, but there's a break in the neck at some point where you're just like, that is a giant baby head that guy's wearing, and he's he's just like a 7 foot tall guy, wearing like a Chucky outfit with the little jumper. Um, there's also moments when you have the baby holding like his big brother in his hands, and it's just this crappy doll, like he's holding a little action figure kind of thing, and it's so freaking obvious. It's hilarious. But yeah, when they're not doing that kind of stuff, I was surprised at how after a while the compositing between giant baby and the normal sized people in the same room was actually working. It it's not possible. It's not real, but you can't see the break necessarily, at least not on my TV or I'm sorry, I looked at it on my computer. I watched it on my computer. So you really can't, if you stare at it long enough, yes, you're like, okay, yes, that net is real, but the lighting that they did on the baby, and yes, they had to create another set just like the one that the adults are in that is smaller, that matches up, and the baby looks gigantic in it. And there's a sequence where they're running and chasing the baby around this centerpiece, the living room, fireplace kind of thing. And you see, and it's done for that effect. They're doing it just to show off. It's to go, hey, see what we can do. Doesn't that look real? Doesn't that look cool? Yeah, and it's just goofy and it's silly, but it's actually kind of fun. As the baby keeps getting bigger and breaking out, and then takes his big brother and the girl he has a crush on, Carrie Russell, into his possession by stuffing it into his little overalls pouch pocket in the front. He goes on a rampage. Excuse me. Goes on a rampage that has to bring out the National Guard. And I forgot to tell you, there's also the prerequisite villain in this movie, which is a guy who's trying to push out Wayne from his own experiments in the lab they now work in, to help expand on the things he does. And this guy pretty much tries to push Wayne out of his own projects. The problem is that even when Lloyd Bridges, their mutual boss, I'm not spoiling a humongous thing. You know how this usually goes. Lloyd Bridges, Mr. Sterling, he fires the bad guy, but the bad guy goes rogue and gets the Nevada State Militia involved somehow, and gets them in a helicopter, and they're going to shoot giant tranquilizers at giant baby. So yeah, I'm not going to ruin the end of it, but as the baby moves into Las Vegas, it becomes an obvious product placement for Las Vegas in 1992. And a lot of the casinos that right now still did not exist at this point. When they say, hey, he's heading to the Strip, they're talking about Fremont Street. They're talking about no longer, not yet, blocked off from all traffic, Fremont Street. No over the, screen over the street situation. They cleared out with police cars, and of course they have real people taking up the sidewalks going, hey, we're in a movie, basically. But of course they never get to see a giant baby because that's just a special effect that they composite on there, and it's just funny to watch it and know that some of those casinos are also already gone. And also, since I know Las Vegas really well, to see the baby suddenly go from Fremont Street to Circus, then all the way down to the Mirage or the Volcano, and then hop over another humongous block over to the Hard Rock Cafe. Yeah. And it's like, hey, check out all of our casinos and resorts. There's a lot of product placement in this, but no bigger product placement than Las Vegas itself. So you can go to the place where the giant baby had his rampage and destroyed some stuff. I won't say what. You'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think the movie was surprisingly fun, and it fits within its time, special effects wise and story wise, and there's lots of just silly, dumb dad jokes and puns that go with this. So yeah, it makes sense. You can't expect it to be any more highly technological and wow with its giant baby special effects than you expect it to be in 1992. Now, when they possibly make another one with Rick Moranis, that Rick has somebody's mentioned that he might be interested in, those special effects better blow our socks off. It's a whole new era of giant shrinking whatever movie that we're going to get out of it. Who knows who's going to get shrunk? Who knows who's going to get embiggened? Simpsons reference. So yeah, if you haven't watched the Honey I Shrunk the Kid movies, I can't remember what I thought about the third one that we saw, the Honey We Shrunk Ourselves. It seemed I don't recall having any ill will towards it, so it was good, but I almost like this one a little bit better. And now we got to see the original. I have seen it long time ago, but it's time to see that one. Maybe that'll be come up next. Who knows? 244 maybe? 242 maybe? Let's see. Let's pick a number. 563. I think we're in the thes. 563. We haven't done. Oh, here we go. We are in the thes. And we haven't, what we haven't had in a long time? We haven't had a proper Marvel film. And, I mean, we've done Ant-Man, we've done Captain Marvel, we've done no Iron Mans, no Captain Americas. Oh, we did, we did Thor the Dark World. But, this is what we get this time. We have the original, The Avengers. 563, The Avengers. So yeah, we're going to go visit Joss Whedon's Avengers. That first time, that movie that should not have existed, people thought could never exist. And they made it happen. So we'll see you back here tomorrow, and we'll talk about The Avengers. Marvel's The Avengers. See you then.